honored to be here today. Thank you. Clark, you were great. Lois, love you. Andre, great job. You know, 2020 is no different than 2019. It's a year. You get 365 days to get something accomplished. Would you not agree? What's the only thing you can change about 2020?
Your mindset.
Oh, were you in one of my classes? That's the only thing you can change. It's what's between your ears. See, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Who got into this business to fail? Nobody. We got in this business, I got in because I wanted to make a lot of money. I don't know about you, it wasn't about the people, it was about the money. Go do charity if it's about the people, because seriously, once they sign on the dotted line, they become ugly people. Kids, in 1982, when I got started in the Stone Ages, I wasn't from the area. I had married this man named Jekyll. He's gone now. I married a man named Jekyll who was from a place called Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Are you from Pittsburgh? God bless you. I loved it there. I was there from 75 to 2000. I wasn't from the area. I didn't know anyone. And I had a great job at the time. I worked for a company called DataCore. Traveled all over the country, had an expense account. Didn't even know what I was doing, but I had fun and it was great. But all I ever wanted was a little girl or a little boy. That's all I wanted. That's why I married Jekyll. It took us 7 years to have this wonderful child, so I became a stay-home mom. Hard to believe. After 2 years, she could read, write, and do everything, and my ex, Jekyll, at the time said, honey, you got it? Go to school, get a license, get into real estate. So my partner's wife's in real estate. She gets dressed up, goes to lunch. She gets out, gets to talk to people. I was like, and he said she makes her own hours. Anybody get into this business because you thought you were going to make a lot of money, make your hours, come and go to your place, and you didn't have a boss? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I said, oh, but I don't want to leave the baby. He goes, you could work it around Courtney. So I got into this business. I should have asked, does she make money? And I met her, and she didn't. I also know that it took me longer to get here than it should have because I have no sense of direction even with navigation. And I took a couple wrong turns. I usually ride with the cowboy over there, but I drove myself today. So working with buyers was not an option for me. It would have never happened. And Nassau wasn't even used. Nassau was using navigation, not the cars at the time. So I got into listings pretty quick. Because I didn't have to know where I was going. They didn't know I got lost getting to their home. But listings became addictive to me. Most of us get into the buyer realm. We like working with buyers. They may never buy anything in our lifetime, but we love that because we have a client. We have a client. If I could change your mind today to make you understand, the person that carries the most inventory will win in any market. I don't care what the interest rates are. I don't care what the market is doing. If you control inventory, you will make a lot of money. See, and back in 1982, the interest rates were 18%. Yeah. I was in a place called Pittsburgh. Steel mills were shutting down left and right. Everybody was losing their jobs. It wasn't the best time to get into real estate, but I made 6 figures my first year. Everybody said I was a freak. I had 72 listings my first year, 110 my second. I'm not telling you that to brag, I'm just telling you that's all I did. I love that Lois and Clark talked about, prospecting. My goal, and I'm going to teach you today what I did, because it was pretty simple, and it was prospecting. But the problem with the prospecting is what? What? Dad, I heard you say something. What? You have to close. That's good. Yeah, you have to close. What stops us from calling people? What stops us from prospecting? What stops us? Rejection. The man with the crossed arms has the correct answer. What are they rejecting, kids? What exactly are us? Our service. They don't even know what it is. You're just calling them to get an appointment. What are they rejecting? Have you ever gone into a wonderful dress shop or a men's clothing store? I'm not, I go anyway. You want me to go here? I'm really not PC correct, though. I may slip up, kids. You go in, and you're looking. You're looking for something, right? And the lovely clerk comes up to you and says, may I help you? And you say, no, thank you, I'm just looking. Does that clerk go in the corner, start to cry, and just say, I've been rejected, face to face, nose to nose, toes to toes? Does that happen? No. They keep coming back at you, don't they? You sure I can get you? Can I help you with something? We can't pick up the phone because we're afraid. They can't even see you. They can't even see you. We're afraid to make that call because they might say, no, thank you, or no. Is that correct? Does that make sense? See, I am trying to help you understand how stupid that is. I made a living on for sale by owners and expired listings. What's an expired listing?
Someone who fell off the MLS.
Yes. Someone that tortured a realtor for probably 6 months to a year at the wrong price. That's what an expired listing is. So that realtor, being good, bad, or indifferent, has conditioned that person that they should reduce. That's why their home hasn't sold. Has that ever happened to anyone in this room? Where you've had a great listing, you've asked them to reduce. Please reduce. You have to reduce. Can you reduce? Now I want more open houses. I want more ads in the paper. I want this. You're not showing it. Nobody's looking at it. It's all your fault. But you got to reduce. You should reduce. Can't you reduce? Can't? And they don't do it. Then you get that midnight call. And they leave a message. Kate, we really like you, but we need a new realtor, or we're going to make a change. And you try to call them first thing in the morning, like, please don't, give me 30 days, let's just reduce it, please. No. And they go, what lowest? And guess what they do? They reduce it. And guess what happens? It sells. Sells. And now you're young. Guys, think about that. Why don't we call expired listings? Why? Because everybody in this room is going to do it now, Kate. I've heard that before. If I could get 3 of you today to do what I'm going to tell you to do, I have done my job. Because this thing between your ears will make you successful or talk you out of it. I'm here to tell you, talk yourself into it. For sale by owners and expireds, for sale by owners, look it up in Webster. It means, I need a realtor to sell this house because I can't. That's what FSBO means. And an expired is conditioned person that already wants to sell, that is going to list with someone else at a better price, and it'll probably sell. Why don't we? Because they might reject you. They might not talk to you. They might hang up on you. Who cares? Call them back. I did that with Mr. Master Francesco. I remember it was in the paper. It was a FSBO. And they put in there, no realtors. So I called. I said, hi. This is Kate Rossi with Global Banker. I see you're trying to sell your house yourself. We're in the same business. I sell full-time, you must sell part-time. He said, are you a realtor? I said, yes. He's, boom. Now, I made thousands of calls. He's the only man that ever hung up on me. I promise you that. I called him back. I said, I think we got disconnected. I did. Well, then he said a couple things that weren't really nice. Like Kate, I read, and and he had a very heavy Italian accent. And I said, sir, I see you want to sell your house. I work your marketplace. I'd like to come over and see it. Maybe I can give you some hints to get it sold. All I want to do is see your house. Are you upset about something? And he started to cry. And I went, oh, shoot. I said, are you okay, sir? And he said, my wife died. We built this house, and my damn kids want me to sell it. I said, oh, buddy, you need me. Let me come over and let's talk about this. He became my best client. Mr. Master Francesco is related to half the town, and everybody he talked to said, you have to listen to Katie. Katie can sell your house. We ended up selling his home. Now, if I would have gotten upset because he hung up on me, and I wouldn't have called him back because he rejected me, I probably would have lost 40 transactions just because of that one phone call. Think about that. What are we doing? We are in sales. We are a sales organization. But sometimes you guys act like secret agents. Expires are simple. Here's the 3 comments you'll get from any expired. Pretty easy. And this is on video, so you don't have to write. Pay attention. Hi, this is Kate Rossi. I see your home's expired. I specialize in homes other people can't sell. Can I come and see your house? You'll see one of 3 things.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes. When can you come? Just set the appointment. Go. The second one is, if you're such a specialist, why didn't you show it when it was listed? And the third one is, I want to wait till the spring, fall, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever the hell they're waiting for, okay? The second one, when they say, if you're such a specialist, why didn't you show it when it was listed? Mr. Seller, the reason I specialize in homes is because I focus on my listings. And then I focus on my office's listings. And if I haven't sold them something by then, I refer them out to someone else. The reason I specialize on my listings is because I focus on my listings. I specialize in homes other people can't sell. Can I come and see your house? Yes. The third one, I want to wait till the spring, fall, Hanukkah, whatever there is. Mr. Seller, let me ask you a question. I could hear it in your voice, but if I brought you a full price offer today, would you take it? They'll say, do you have a buyer? You say, no, I'm just asking the question. If I brought you a full price offer today, would you still consider selling your home? Absolutely. I can hear it in your voice, Mr. Seller. You're tired of crating the dog, making the bed, and acting like you don't live in the property, correct? I specialize in homes other people can't sell. Can I come and see your house? Maybe we can get it sold quick for you. They'll let you come. Those are the 3 things. Is that easy? What's the hardest part of that? Dialing. That's the hardest part, is calling them. What is your mission? Your mission, you should have paper. I probably should, this is an eraser. That's big. The hardest part, guys, is the appointment. Can you see these things? You have this big thing. I probably should learn how to do something on that. Here's the secret. 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week. What's the appointment? Just to go see a house. An expired, for sale by owner, whatever. Just to go see it. You don't list anything over the phone. You don't give a price over the phone. You don't give them an opinion over the phone. Your mission is just to get an appointment. 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week. Now, I love Lois. She says, make 20 calls. People used to say, how many calls does it take to get the 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week? I don't care if it's 500. You make it till you get the appointment. Because me, money. Remember, I'm all about the money. I wasn't going to dial 20 people which is better than, I love it, Lois, okay? We're hoping, hope's not a strategy, but we're hoping you get an appointment. Your mission is to get the appointment. So it might take 2 calls to get the appointment, it might take 50. But you want to get 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week. Got it? Out of the 5, 3 are nuts. 3 aren't ready. 3 just, they don't want to hear your price, your terms, your condition. But you're not going to get maybe in the beginning. I used to get 5 out of 5 because I think I scared them. But when you get really good at this, kids, 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week, 3 might not be ready. So let's just say you get 2 sellable listings a week. Let's just pretend. By blowing 3, okay, And then times 4, that's a month, that's 8 sellable. Times 12 is 96 sellable listings a year. Anybody getting 96 sellable listings a year in this room? And this is without new construction. This is without multiple developments. This is nose to nose, toes to toes, 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week, 3 not going with you, but 2 sellable. Now, when you have 96 listings, you may say to me, oh my God, Kate, I don't want those tax ramifications. That's way too much money. Then stop at 40 sellable and take the rest of the year off and start over again next year. Do you know what I'm saying? Because out of 40 sellable listings, you get multiple sales. You think you might double in some stuff? Think about that. See, that's what I want you to think about. Not work with listings that don't want to listen to you. I don't want to pay you a commission. Bye. I don't want to hear your price. Bye. I want you to do 12 open houses and ads every day, and I'm not going to list it at that price. Bye. Those are the 3s that you don't want to work with. Which ones do we usually take? These guys. We usually go with these idiots. Oh yeah. Well, can you get me 500,000 more than your comps are saying? Oh, well, I'll try. But we're going to talk about a price reduction at some point. They don't listen, guys. These are the ones you want to work with. Correct?
Yeah.
FSBOs, those are simple. They just take longer to get. They take about 7 to 8 contacts. Now it could be 3 from you and 4 from me, and on the 7th or 8th call, they're tired. FSBOs are great. It's making the contact. That's all you have to do, because they want you to see their house. Why?
They want you to bring a buyer.
They want you to bring a buyer. You know what it is. Do you want to teach this class with me?
Sure, that would be fun.
Yeah. I was in Augusta yesterday. Yeah, it would have been great. They want you to bring a buyer. They want to know your price. They want your opinion. They want you to tell them everything to do. Oh, we go in there and we say, you've got to paint, you've got to do this, you've got to do, oh, what do you think the price? Oh, I think the price should be this. Thank you, hit the road. They don't give you anything. I never gave anything up. Zippo. We tell stuff that we shouldn't tell. FSBOs are easy to get into. I always say, you're in my marketplace. I like to know all the inventory that's going on in my marketplace. Can I come over and see your house? Now, years ago, they didn't have call ID. So I used to leave voicemail on their voicemails. You used to have a machine that picked that stuff up. And you'd play it when you got home. You couldn't see the people, that kind of thing. But I'd leave multiple voicemails for a FSBO. First one, I tried to be nice. Second one, I said, hey, you're never home. How are you going to sell this house? I like to know what's going on in my marketplace. This is Kate. Give me a call back. And I'd call again. Look, I'm doing this full-time. You must be part-time because you're never picking up the phone. Finally, they pick it up in exasperation. I say, what? I say, I just want to come see the house. I like to know what's going on in my marketplace. Can I come over and see it? When they'll let you come, and then they start. How much do you think it is? What do you think? Give me your opinion. What do you think? I don't know. I think it's great. Well, what do you think it's worth? Where'd you get the price? I got it from my realtor friend. I think it's a great price. Well, what do you think? Are you interested in interviewing me for the job? Because if you're interested in interviewing me for the job, I'd be more than happy to come over and do a CMA for you. Is that what you're looking for? I thought you were going to try to sell it yourself. No. I never gave him anything. Then I said, have you seen a contract? Who's going to do your contract? Well, I have an attorney, always pro bono. You know, I'm a pro bono. Like, was that your divorce attorney? Because if it was your divorce attorney, you're going to lose big time on it. Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. How about if I drop off a contract? I'll be in the neighborhood, I'll drop it, so you should take a look at the contract in case you get an offer. Then they'd be doing an open house. They'd say, hey, you're doing an open house this weekend. I'd love to stop by after my open house, we can compare notes. By that time, I've met them, they've connected with me, and guess what starts to happen? They want me. I never gave them any information. I asked them if they knew about home inspections. I asked them if they knew about whatever. And at the time, they don't. You become that sort of an information person for them. But what are you trying to do? You're trying to understand or make them understand this is not a simple transaction, is it? The worst thing to do is try to sell something yourself. I've never listed one of my own properties because it's personal. You lose money when your emotion is attached to it. That's why they hire us. They hire us for our negotiating skills, but we don't call FSBOs. Let me ask you a question. If you were walking past a large sum of money laying on the ground, would you stop, pick it up maybe, look at it, look around, but would you pick it up? If you say no, please get the hell out of here. Yes, you would. You'd pick it up, right? You'd count it. Oh my God, you'd be looking around. Anybody, the 7 ones? You know, you'd be whispering. You might even take it to the police station and take a couple bucks out and say, if they give you the right number, you know, I'll give it to them. When you go pass it for sale by owner sign, you're passing money. M-O-N-E-Y. Lots of it sometimes. There are eventually 9 out of 10 for sale by owners list with one of you. They list with you. They can't sell their house themselves. If they do, what do? They lose money. What is a buyer doing looking at a FSBO? They're looking for a deal because they know they're not paying the commission. When a seller says, I don't want to pay you whatever, I'd say, Mr. Seller, what do you care what you pay me if I get you what you want? Let's not dwell on that, big guy. And if they totally keep insisting, bring me a buyer. Bring me a buyer, I'd be happy to work with you. Bye. See, when you have this piece down, you have power. Now this thing turns around. After you erase it. In this business, you need to know how to do the 3 Ps. Prospect, present, and price. Prospecting is 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week. Got it? Present, I'm going to show you a presentation. If you're not using Moxie, kids, start using Moxie. This is the biggest investment most people will ever have in a lifetime, and we're winging it. Now, the problem with most of realtors in this, not in this room, but in this generation of selling, they're my age. And the problem with the internet and a computer is we didn't grow up with that thing in our hands. So we're intimidated by anything that isn't paper. Get over it. Take Andre's class. Learn how to use this thing. Is so, it's like a computer for dummies. It is the easiest presentation. Android, see, I'm a dinosaur. There's androids in this room. You're an android. You are a child of, yes, young. He's an android. They grew up with that thing in their hands. So they're not intimidated to use it. It's like natural. But we fight it. We don't want to use it. We're afraid of it. This Moxie, in my 37 years of being with Cool Center, is the best presentation I've ever seen. And I felt, with getting over 100 and some listings a year, I had the best presentation, but it was a big old book loaded with big old stuff. The most beautiful thing about Moxie is when you're on a presentation and you take your CMA and you're doing your CMA and they go, well, why didn't you compare my home to Walls Way, 429 Walls Way? Now, if you just have paper there, what do you say? I mean, you're thinking, I don't know why I didn't use that, you know? With Moxie, whether it's a FSBO, Expire, what, you type that in, and guess what? It pops up. Oh, Mr. Seller, the reason I didn't use 429 Walls Way, it has 5 bedrooms, you have 2. It has 7,000 square feet, you have 1. But if you don't have that, what do? You stumble. Moxie is a tool that can help you overcome any objection any seller has to say, and it helps you get your commission. I charge 3.5. What do you want to pay the selling broker? What do you think is fair? 3.5. Oh, that's 7. I charge 3.5. What do you want to pay the selling broker? Well, I don't think I want to pay. Bye. We take things for the wrong reasons. For the wrong reasons. You know, we do our job. Would you not agree? I mean, we do it and then we do more of it. Seriously, some of you kids are like feeding the cat and walking the dog and you do stupid stuff. The doctor loses the patient. Patient dies. Does he give the family a discount? You lose to Jekyll and you pay alimony the rest of your life till the idiot finally gets married again. Does the attorney go, whoops? I'm so sorry, I lost the case for you. Here's my bill. We do what we're supposed to do, and then some, and we throw in a refrigerator. Guys, you're professionals. You're a pro. Treat it like a business. Don't get caught up in the baloney of it. You have the power. Don't talk yourself out of being successful. Well, it's better than nothing. I've had people say that to me. I'm like, if you calculate per hour how much you're actually making by taking an overpriced listing, working with lunatics that are never going to buy your lifetime, you're not making any money. I had a 2-year-old. And Jekyll made a lot of money. And I was not going to let that baby down. See, you got to find out why you're doing this business. Why the heck are you doing this business? See, my why was my little girl. Still is to this day. She turns 40 next month. God. I told her, quit telling people that. I tell people I'm 40. She's my why. She's always been my why. See, you all have a why, don't you? You wouldn't do this job just because you feel like getting tortured. Some kid, it was in Texas, he came up and he said, Miss Rossi, is it bad my why is me? I was like, no, your why is you, do it for you. He said, my dad always told me I was going to be a bum, that I didn't never amount to anything. I was like, where is that guy? Like, let me get him. And he said, I'm going to do this, Miss Rossi. He is now in the top 1% in our company. He did it for him. Find your why. And the next time you don't want to do the appointment, 1 appointment a day, 5 days a week, visualize your why. And say, I'll be damned if I'm not gonna make this phone call because I'm worried about somebody saying no to me. Got me so far? Any questions?